Now, we played a clip with Senator John Kennedy, who was utterly confused about how many genders the left claims. So here, that was at a hearing where Riley Gaines actually broke down in tears about her experience competing against a biological male. Let's watch a little bit of this hearing and talk about the woke agenda. Watch.
In 1972, Congress enacted Title IX to end unjust sex discrimination in all aspects of education, including college athletics. But by allowing Thomas to displace female athletes in the pool and on the podium, the NCAA intentionally and explicitly discriminated on the basis of sex. Although the NCAA claimed it acted in the name of inclusion, its policies in fact excluded female athletes, which are the very female athletes whom Title IX was passed to protect. But that is not all. In addition to being forced to give up our awards and our titles and our opportunities, the NCAA forced me and my female swimmers to share a locker room with Thomas, a 6'4", 22-year-old male equipped with and exposing male genitalia. Let me be clear about this. We were not forewarned we would be sharing a locker room. No one asked for our consent, and we did not give our consent. And I'll set the scene. A swimming locker room is not a place of modesty. You're undressing, you're fully exposed, and we were forced to take off our swimsuit in front of a man who was doing the exact same thing. If nothing else, I truly hope how you can see this as a violation of our right to privacy and how some of us have felt uncomfortable, embarrassed, and even traumatized by this experience. I know that I don't speak for every single person who competed against Leah Thomas, but I know I speak for many because I saw the tears. I saw the tears from the 9th and 17th place finishers who missed out on being named an All-American by one place. And I can attest to the extreme discomfort in the locker room when you, from these 18 to 22-year-old girls, when you turn around and there's male eyes watching in that same room. And I can attest to the whispers and the grumbles of anger and frustration from these girls who, just like myself, had worked our entire lives to get to this meet. And I can attest to the fact that around the country...
Let's bring in Terrence as well. But Karen, I saw you watching that and being uncomfortable, and I want to keep it as general as possible and not make it any more uncomfortable. But as with Terrence here as well, I mean, you could see how hard it was for her to talk about what it's like to be a woman in a locker room, taking off your clothes to put on a bathing suit and vice versa, and having a man in there watching you.
And these girls have no choice. They're subjected. They're not asked if it's okay. I mean, talk about like breaking women down and taking away women's rights. That's what's happening here. It's scary. I think about my daughter. She's 22. I'm like, these are kids.
Yeah. Absolutely, Terrence.
Yeah. And I mean, she made the point, and I don't want to be graphic, but she said there were exposed male genitalia that, you know, it's not like this person had transitioned at that point. You know, they're turning around and seeing this, and that's got to be uncomfortable. And the thing that comes to mind, if you identify as a woman, then one would hope you would be a bit more sensitive to kind of the situation and predicament these women, these real women are in, and at least you would distance yourself, put yourself in another corner, go away from these women in order to try to help make them more comfortable. One would think. Now, again, you know, maybe I'm just pie in the sky.
Because that's the way this country was for years and years. We grew up in school. You're a boy. You do not go in the girls' locker room, period.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, it's a shame. I've got a daughter who's a swimmer, and so I can only imagine. I would be furious if my daughter were in that sort of situation. So I feel them.